So you're starting a strength training program, or maybe you're changing to a new program, but you don't know which exercises to do. All right, I'm here to help. I'm going to give you a simple framework that can help you put together your own workouts. In a good strength training program, you need to be working all of your major muscle groups. And in a lot of mainstream programs, they'll choose exercises based on the muscle groups they're working. So they might tell you to do a chest exercise, and then a back exercise, and then a leg exercise. There are about 8 to 10 different major muscle groups depending on how you split them up, and there are so many different exercises you could do for each muscle group. That's a lot of exercises to learn and remember. We want to keep things simple to set you up for success. So that's why I prefer to use a savvier method of strength training, which is to organize exercises in terms of movements. A movement is when a lot of different muscle groups work together to move your body in a certain way. I'm going to talk in a minute about the fundamental movements that I include in every workout, and then I'll give you some specific exercises you could do for each one. So training movements instead of muscles is really important for a few different reasons. First, it makes your strength training functional. So the 5 movements are the basic movement patterns that you use in real life. And if you train in a way that transfers to your daily life, you'll get more benefits than just nice looking muscles. You'll be able to move through your day with more ease and less chance of pain. Now, training muscles in isolation is not really functional. Muscles aren't designed to work in isolation. If you think about your daily activities, you're constantly doing things that require your body to move in coordinated ways. So every time you get in and out of a chair, or walk up the stairs, or carry your groceries, or lift your kids, you need many different muscles to work together effectively and efficiently. Now, for my specialty, which is mental health and nervous system health to heal from things like chronic pain or chronic dizziness, you need to be challenging your stress response system. You need to challenge your proprioceptive system, which keeps track of where your body is in space. And you need to build resilience and confidence. And movements that use multiple muscle groups together are the best for that. And then finally, bonus, it saves time. Instead of doing 8 or 10 exercises in a workout, just 5 will strengthen your whole body and your mind. And that could cut your workout time in half. So specifically, I focus on 5 different movements, and together those 5 movements will work all of your major muscle groups. So the 5 movements are push, pull, squat, hinge, and core activation. Now, there are some trainers who would include a few more. I've seen some programs that separate out like 7 or 8 different movement patterns. There's an argument to be made for that, but I've chosen to include some of those other exercises within these 5 movement patterns, again, to keep things simple and efficient. So let's start with push. The push movement is any exercise where you're pushing something away from your upper body. So that might be a push-up where you're actually pushing your body away from the floor, or any exercise with the word press in it, like a bench press, a chest press, or a shoulder press. Push movements are going to work your chest, your shoulders, and your triceps all together. And outside the gym, you push things all the time. Right? Anytime you push open a door, you're doing a push movement pattern. The pull movement is basically the opposite of a push. So you're pulling something towards you, or you're pulling yourself towards something. So pull-ups or chin-ups, which are very similar, are in this category, and any exercise with the word pull or row in it. Now, pull movements work your back. There's a lot of different muscles in your back. Also your shoulders and your biceps, again, all together in a coordinated way. And in real life, you do a pull movement anytime you pull open a door. I'm using doors a lot here as my examples. Now let's go to squat. The squat is a really important fundamental movement. So squat exercises usually have the word squat in the name. And for our purposes, I'm going to also put lunges into this category since they're basically one-legged squats. Now squats work the big muscles in your legs, especially your quads at the front, but also your hamstrings and glutes. So anytime you kick open a door. No, just kidding. You actually squat all the time, right? Anytime you get in and out of a chair or you crouch down to play with a cute dog or a baby, you're squatting. Then we've got the hinge. The hinge movement is probably the trickiest one, but also I think the most important. So a hinge is when you bend at the waist without bending your knees much. And that's different than a squat. In a squat, you bend at the waist and at the knees about equally. So the hinge is bend at the waist, you keep your knees pretty straight and stable. The hinge builds strength all across your back and legs with exercises like the deadlift or the hip thrust. So the hinge works the big muscles in your legs, like squats do, but it focuses more on the back side of your body. So your hamstrings, your glutes, also incorporates your lower back. So anytime you lift something big and heavy like a suitcase, you should be doing a hinge movement. And mastering a good hinge movement is really, really important for preventing injury and keeping your back strong and healthy. And then finally, we've got core activation. So this isn't exactly a movement, I guess, more of a skill. Learning to activate your core properly, though, is incredibly important for protecting your spine and moving effectively. So anytime you lift or hold anything away from your body, your core needs to be working. So once you know how to activate your core, you can strengthen it with exercises like the plank, but also the dead bug, which I think is probably the best core exercise there is, or things like football exercises. So to put it all together, when you're doing a strength workout, you want to choose 1 or 2 exercises from each movement category. And then once you've done all of your movement exercises, then you can finish your workout with an isolation exercise for a specific muscle group if you want to. So focus on training movements to simplify your workouts, to build functional strength and get better results from your training, both physically and mentally.